Hey everybody, Victral here with another deck guide and gameplay video. Today's deck is Elise, Darius, Harrowing. So I've got the deck code down in the description if you'd like to give the deck a shot yourself. And then if you're just looking for some gameplay footage, you can head on over to the game number 1 timestamp in the video. Alright, so let's do a quick overview of what the deck is, kind of how it works, the cards we included. We'll talk a little bit about the mulligan phase as well, and just kind of the general game plan of the deck. Alright, so this deck is kind of similar to the Elise Spiders aggro deck, but with a little bit of a twist in it. So the twist is we run Harrowing, 3 copies of this. So the way this works is you revive your strongest 6 allies that die this game and grant them ephemeral. So they're not going to stick around on your board, but they do come back to life. So kind of the goal of the deck is to play it out like an aggro deck, like your normal Elise aggro. And then once your opponent's able to deal with all your units, once they kind of stabilize, you hit them with the Harrowing, and then typically that's kind of when you push through the final damage for the game. So the deck doesn't always need to even draw Harrowing to win. Oftentimes you're just able to win straight up aggro because it's mostly a pretty good aggro deck as played, with the typical Elise aggro deck that people see on the ladder. So a lot of times you're able to even just push through lethal just from that alone. But the Harrowing is kind of there as your trump card, if you will, to kind of just say, hey, I'm going to push through the rest of this damage, and there's not much you can do to stop it. So it's a fun deck overall, though. So let's go ahead and talk about the units and the champions and the spells, and we'll kind of get into the mulligan as well. All right, so we run 3 of Elise and 3 of Darius. So these are kind of your good aggro units here. So at least 2 mana, 2/3 spider with fearsome, and then on attack, someone's attacking spiderling, the 1/1. And then of course, if you've got 3 other spiders, you can level her up. So you really don't care as much about the leveling her. It's kind of just an added bonus if you happen to get there. We do run things like Precious Pet, and then of course she generates her own spiderlings, but typically you're not seeing her level up very often. She's just good to push damage, and of course having that fearsome tag is really good for a 2-drop, because it's hard for other 2-drops to block her, or 1-drops as well. Then we also run 3 of Darius, so 6 mana, 6/6 with Overwhelm, and then he levels up if he's seen the Nexus with the enemy Nexus with 10 or less health. So then it becomes a 6 mana, 10/7, so kind of a strong finisher for this deck. And of course, being able to be brought back by Harrowing means your opponent's got to deal with multiple Dariuses typically in that situation. Alright, so then the followers we run, Legion Rearguard, 1 mana, 3/2 with can't block. Because it's an aggro deck, you don't really care about the can't block. He's just good stats for the 1-drop. Legion Saboteur, 1 mana, 2/1 with attack ability, deal 1 to the enemy Nexus, so that's guaranteed damage coming through on her attack, which is good. We also run 1 mana, 2/1 Precious Pet with a fearsome tag, so that's just nice to kind of get in some damage. Hard to block from your opponent with that fearsome. We run Imperial Demolitionist, so 2 mana, 2/3 with a play effect, deal 1 to an ally to deal 2 to the enemy Nexus. So this is just a good way to push through extra damage, especially on something like a Rearguard, which got some extra health, or even just one of your units that you know is not really going to be able to get any more damage in. You're able to get that 2 extra damage to the enemy Nexus. Keep in mind your opponent can disrupt this if they remove the ally that you're targeting. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when you're playing this card. We also run 2 of Legion Grenadier, so 2 mana, 3/2 with Last Breath, deal 1 to the enemy Nexus. So 3 copies of that. So again, more over-the-top damage. We run 3 of Doombeast, so this is a really good card. 3 mana, 3/2 with Nightfall effect, drain 2 from the enemy Nexus. So you really want to make sure you're triggering this when you're playing the Doombeast down, because that's, again, 2 over-the-top damage. It also heals you, so sometimes that can be relevant as well. So really strong card here. We run 2 of Iron Ballista, so 3 mana, 4/3 with Overwhelm. So again, just another good Overwhelm attacker. And then we run 3 of Fallen Reckoner, so 5 mana, 4/3 with Overwhelm. And then on summoned, grants can't block to the weakest enemy. And then if it dies, it creates a Risen Reckoner enhance. So this is a really strong card for this deck because even when the Harrowing resummons these, they also grant that can't block to the weakest enemy. So typically you can kind of use this to your advantage to where you can get almost their entire board to the can't block effect from these Fallen Reckoners and the Risen Reckoners as well. And so, with that Last Breath, Risen Reckoner comes back as a 3 mana, 6/3 with Overwhelm, but it is ephemeral, so keep that in mind. It won't stick around for more than one turn once you play it. So Fallen Records are a really good way to kind of push through extra damage to kind of help make it hard for them to block once you run that Harrowing, or once you play the Harrowing. So that's kind of a really good card for this deck. Alright, so then spells we run, 2 of Glimpse Beyond, so kills an ally, draw 2. So, a lot of aggro decks don't run Glimpse Beyond, but because we don't really care about our units dying as much, this helps us draw into things like the Harrowing or other units. So I think it's a pretty good card for this deck. You can kind of, maybe your opponent targets one of your units to kill it, and so you're not going to get damage anyways, might not glimpse it down. And oftentimes your opponent really doesn't want to let you get the glimpse, so maybe they'll spend 2 spells removing something rather than 1, and so that kind of takes away from their resources a bit. So Glimpse Beyond really good in this deck. We run 3 of Noxus and Fervor, so deal 3 to an ally, deal 3 to anything, so this kind of helps you get more of that over-the-top damage, and also kind of similar to Glimpse Beyond, helps you get value out of an ally dying. Kind of a good way to push through that last bit of damage if you need to. Decimate, of course, is your standard aggro finisher, 5 mana with slow spell, deals 4 to the enemy Nexus. And then, of course, the Harrowing, so that 9 mana slow spell revives 6 strongest allies, died this game, grants them an ephemeral. So this is kind of what you want to do once you've got all your units kind of off the board, once your opponent's kind of dealt with your board on your attack phase, you want to be able to play the Harrowing. Because it costs 9, you can play this on turn 6 at the earliest, because that's if you've got 3 spell mana banked up plus the 6 from the regular mana. You typically don't want to play that early unless you know you're going to have lethal. You just want to make sure you're getting your big units down that are going to come back, especially your overwhelm units. But it's definitely worth considering. There are occasions where you need to play it on your opponent's turn to not die, so that makes sense to do that. But typically you want to play this on your attacking turn, and typically you want to make sure your opponent can't remove your board. So if you're playing against like a Shadow Isles deck, like a Darkness deck, and they've got mana up for like the Ruination or something like that, you got to be careful. Even things like Buried in Ice, for example, from Freljord, there are some things you got to play around just to make sure that this isn't like, or to make sure that this actually gets through. But oftentimes you can just kind of slam that down on your turn when you're ready to go, and it'll do something for you. So overall, I think it's a pretty strong deck. Overall, as far as the mulligan phase goes, you're really looking for your cheap units. Your like Elise is great, and your 1-drops. Grenadier's good. You don't really want your Demolitionist that early, just because he needs, she needs an ally to deal damage with, and so you kind of want this as kind of like more in the late game. So you want any of your 1-drops, Elise, Grenadier. You can keep stuff like Iron Ballista as well. Doombeast is again one of those you want to keep a little bit later in the game because he needs to get that Nightfall effect, and so you don't really want to play him on 3. You want to make sure you've got him like even on 4 is okay. If you can play like a 1-drop plus 3. And then as far as your spells, keeping Glimpse Beyond is okay. Not really great in the early game, but it's okay if you want to keep that. These other spells you kind of want to wait until you've got that later in the game. You really just want to get your units down. You want to get things into the graveyard, basically. You want to have things that have died. So you really just want to get those units going as far as the mulligan goes. Alright, so that's going to do it for the deck guide. Let's go ahead and get into some games. Alright, up against Twisted Fate, Bilgewater, and Noxus. Okay, so a lot of removal, I'm guessing, in this deck. We'll kick those back, get our early game stuff going. Okay, got a 1, 2, and a 3. Very nice. I'll start with this. I'm not sure what type of units he's going to play. I'm guessing it's a lot of spells and kegs and stuff like that. I'm guessing. We'll see though. Yep, there's a powder keg. Sure. Okay. Guessing he's going to have like a Make It Rain on his next attack. Okay. Alright, I definitely would have blocked had he done that. Okay. I'll go do this. He could get a kill here, but it's like a Make It Rain, it's not killing anything, so. He's definitely got something. He could try to save it for Twisted Fate, but I can definitely pull it with this if he doesn't use it on the stack, because then if he pops it, this thing still gets the damage in. Okay. So he's going to stun that, sure. Okay. So I will go ahead and do this here, just to protect this, still get in for a little bit of damage. He can trade with Elise, I think that's fine. Yeah. So no matter what, he's going to get some damage in. Okay. Not sure what he's got for one cost. Blade's Edge, maybe? Oh, Flock, okay. Alright, he spins that. Okay. So I'm guessing he's going to go with open with the Twisted Fate on his next turn. Alright, got the Harrowing online. So yeah, we'll pass since he's going to open with Twisted Fate. That's what he wants to do here. Yeah. I'll go ahead and do this on the spider. And if he tries to kill it, I can Glimpse Beyond. Because he wants to Twisted Fate, so he loses some value there. I'm going to go ahead and do this. That way, if he really doesn't want me to get it, he taps out a Twisted Fate range. Okay. Alright, another Harrowing. Nice. Okay, there. Nice. We got Fallen Reckoner. That'd be good. Okay. So right now, his Twisted Fate isn't even that good on this board. Yeah, alright, we'll just attack then. He could go here, and then he's got a pretty good Twisted Fate, but that's fine, yeah. I'm just not going to get him super good value on it. Okay, nice, he's doing that. Alright, unfortunately, I still got to get something down just to be mana efficient. It's still a good Twisted Fate for him, unfortunately, because all our things have 1 health. Alright, so if he's Twisted Fate, we can either do Fallen Reckoner or Darius. Yep, there's a Twisted Fate, as we expected. I think I like getting the Fallen Reckoner down. So if he kills this, it's just better for our Harrowing, and then we can also get Saboteur down. Okay, sure. I'll definitely block things. Yeah. Definitely cool with this. I'm assuming he's got something to kill this. If not, that's fine with me. And then we'll just go Harrowing, I think, next turn.
Timing is everything.
Could even just go Darius, honestly. Don't know if we need to be in a rush, honestly. Got 10. Yeah, okay, we'll just go Darius. We'll do Harrowing next turn. I'm not too worried at this point.
Never lost a fair game.
Okay.
Who says I don't share? None shall oppose me. Easy.
Okay, sure. I'm not worried about that at all. Get this Risen Reckoner down too. Even get some Doom Beast down.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
I'll go ahead and do this here. Let me just do this actually. Get some damage in here. Okay. He's still pretty far from flipping, which is good. I'll just pass here. Alright, we'll get the Harrowing going. We still have enough stuff for Doom Beast after. We have another Harrowing coming next turn, so yeah, looking pretty solid here. Not sure what opponent's doing. Maybe they're contemplating. Yeah, they got nothing. Alright, we got him. Very nice. Alright, up against Darkness. Okay. Glimpse Beyond is fine to keep. I'll toss that back. Keeping this is fine. This can at least get us some draw once we, he starts to target some of our stuff. Okay. Your guard down, then I think we'll go into Elise. Yeah, we'll go into Elise. He could have the,
In the shadow.
3-2 that, okay, he doesn't have it. Sweet. Alright, so he can get a block onto our 1-1 if he wants. But he's taking more damage, so. Okay, he doesn't go for the value block. Okay. Alright. Okay, he's got 3 mana. Alright, let's start with this. If he uses something, we can just glimpse it. If he tries to play that right there. Pokey stick. Okay. So he's still got 2 mana up. I'll just not do anything. I'll go ahead and do our Grenadier. Okay. I got Fervor as well. I'm going to attack in now. Could have Withering Wail. Some Vile Feasts. We'll see. Or nothing. Okay. Unfortunately, we really can't do anything. Yeah, our hand wasn't really in a spot that we could play multiple stuff. We do have Decimate, and Doom Beast, and this, so that's a lot of stuff here. So let's start with this here, right? Or do we start with... Let's get units down.
Who's my favorite? It is you.
Right now we're flipping Elise. So, he's got to try to kill something, I think. Yeah, we'll definitely take that damage. There's no reason to play anything. I'll go ahead and get the Doom Beast down. Yeah, because then we can just drag with these 1/1s, these blockers, so... He's got to try to kill him. And we have Fervor or... Okay, group shot. We try the Fervor. He's so likely he's got something else, right? I could just go for the Glimpse Beyond. I think I'll do that. I'll save this damage for... Okay. It's nice. We get some... Okay. We got some draw in. So, unfortunately, we don't flip Elise this turn, but... Okay, so we'll go ahead and... Yeah, we'll do this as well. Get some value out of these. Okay. 2 Decimates is pretty strong. Okay. Don't have them for next turn. Do we open attack here? Kind of like getting some more guys on the field, right? Or do I? So many options. We got so much burn damage here. Let's develop here. Any units he's playing isn't really that relevant. It's the spells that I'm worried about. Maybe he's got box. It's not that great. Whale is pretty good for him. But we can play around Whale a little bit with the Fervor. Okay, just goes with Senna. He's got a darkness. So in that case, let's just get... yeah, we can't really do that yet, can we? Okay. Let's just attack in. Let him block as he wants to block. Or at least can get a little bit of damage in, I think. And then we've got... yeah. Because killing this gets 1 damage guaranteed. Depends on where he wants to place this. I guess he can go there. Goes down to 5. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. So we could Fervor. Yeah, go down to 2. And then this thing. Yeah, that's fine. We'll have 1 damage. Don't think of anything that... except for another group shot. If he's got a group shot, that's the only thing that saves him from this. So let's try it. He's got it, he's got it. Nice, he doesn't have it. Awesome, alright. Darkness beat. Alright, looks like we're up against Bandle Tree, I presume, with this type of hero mix. Alright, let's look for some early game stuff. There we go. Okay, and we got the Harrowing too. Nice. I think I'll go Precious Pet here because he shouldn't have any blocker for this, for 1 mana. Yeah, he's got the Teemo. Okay. Alright. So we will be taking some puff cap damage. So I'm going to get down another, and then another Precious Pet. Okay. He does have a blocker, but we're fine because we got Harrowing, so we're just trying to draw into our big things. Let's just... I think we play that next turn. Do we get it paired with the Doom Beast? We'll go ahead and bank the 3 mana now. Okay. Pokey Stick, yep. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to do that next turn so I can get the proc on the Nightfall. And we definitely want to bank up at least 3 mana for our Harrowing at some point. So we might as well do it now. Alright. Don't want this to flip. I think probably not. I think we don't want him to flip. So we'll go ahead and block this. Just because having him at 3 health is a lot better for us than him at a lot more health. Since he can't play that right now, can't flip over. Alright, let's send these go in. And we're fine with anything dying, really. We just want to get some... okay. We can get some damage in and then set up for Harrowing. Right now, Harrowing's not that great. We don't have that many strong units on the board. Okay, Buster Shot, sure. Okay. We're going to do our best to run him low on resources here. Okay. 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 So good news he's not leveling up, but he does have a Gnar on board with nothing to block. So he has a pretty good open attack here. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that Gnar's pretty strong against us. Another decimate. Okay. All we can do is decimate here. Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't even open attack. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we have nothing really but this, so we'll go ahead and do that and get some more damage in. Okay, so he's got blockers for days now. That's not good. Yeah, looking like a loss here. We got no way to block any of this stuff. Taking a lot of damage. Okay. And Nar's flipping. Okay, so we basically have to hope this Harrowing, and at this point I don't think we can. Our Harrowing just is not strong enough, unfortunately. We got another Harrowing, okay, but we got to go for it. We have no other choice. But we got a couple fearsome blockers. But again, he's got the Pokey Stick. Like, it's very easy for him to combat this. Okay. Yeah, we have to attack with everything. We can't even... Taking the one back doesn't even matter. We just have to hope that somehow we kill off his board, I guess. We could have held one of these back, but I don't think it's really going to matter. Because he's got so much damage in. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we don't even have Decimate Lethal, so this should be over unless he decides not to open attack for some reason. That'd be the only way we can survive here. We'll see what he decides to do. Okay. Yeah, so they got us. Okay. Alright, against Pantheon Yumi. Alright, toss this back. Look for units for now. Okay, got a Glimpse Beyond. Okay. Alright, we can get our Subtour down. Okay. I think I do want to get Elise down. Even if he's got like a Mountain Goat or something, that's fine. Okay, she's got nothing. Awesome. Get in for 6. Okay. Probably gonna have the dragon then. He's got nothing, he's in trouble though. Alright. I guess he had nothing. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Alright, so yeah, that's the Elise Darius Harrowing deck. I think it's pretty strong right now. You know, a lot of people are going to play you like just a standard Elise aggro deck, and so they're not really playing for that Harrowing win condition. So you can kind of catch people by surprise a lot of times. It also means like running things like Glimpse Beyond is nice to draw into more things, and then you can also like sacrifice units in poor trades just to get a blocker out of your opponent's hand or out of their board. So you don't really have to worry as much about your units dying. But yeah, I think it's a pretty strong deck overall. You know, you still got a lot of burn, you've got a lot of good damage, and of course Darius is strong. You got the Fallen Reckoners, which are strong, granting that can't block the weakest enemy. And you've got a lot of overtop damage, and you still can just win, you know, from your aggression early on. You don't always need the Harrowing, but definitely one of the stronger decks I think out there in the meta right now. So definitely give it a shot and let me know how it goes for you. That's gonna do it for this video. We'll see you next time.